Everybody's been talking about this one today. James Gunn's original Scooby-Doo script had an explicitly gay Velma. James Gunn confirms Velma was gay in his original Scooby-Doo script. This is incredibly important. You've got to know about this. This article is from MovieWeb, but it's everywhere. I just like the picture in this one. I thought she looked pretty, and I thought she looked like, hey, well, you know. But it's important, and we obviously need to talk about this and kind of get to the bottom of it and understand where Velma is coming from in all of this. And how she kind of came to be explicitly gay in the original script and then not gay when the movie was actually made. Let's get into this. Before we get into the article, if you want to support me, check out collegeofthedead.com. This is a 48-page graphic novel. It's already shipped. It's been successful. And we are shipping now. We still have some copies left. So the link will be in the description, collegeofthedead.com. And sign up for my new series, The Mermaids. It's really like Game of Thrones with mermaids. It's full color, 48 pages. It's completely done. It's going to be launching on Indiegogo soon. And you can see from the artwork, it's a really impressive project. I'm really, really proud of it. So let's get over to the story, back to the article. James Gunn's original Scooby-Doo script had an explicitly gay Velma. This, as you know, is Velma. The article goes on. Although today James Gunn is best known as the creative force behind the MCU's hugely popular Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, he's also responsible for writing the screenplay for the 2002 Scooby-Doo film. Also, James Gunn did some weird stuff with some tweets. He kind of got fired from that Guardians of the Galaxy franchise from Disney. But then they kind of got him back, but then he's all right now. But he's a little strange on his own. But let's continue. While that movie was not a huge success upon release, it has since come to be regarded as something of a cult classic. That's true. Recently, a fan asked Gunn on Twitter this is how this all started, if he ever considered leaning into the Velma Dinkley is gay fan theories while writing the script. And the filmmaker responded firmly in the affirmative. James Gunn responded with this. I tried. In 2001, Velma was explicitly gay in my initial script, but the studio just kept watering it down, becoming ambiguous, the version shot, and then nothing, the version released. And finally having a boyfriend in the sequel. All right. Velma is the brains of the Mystery Inc. gang that comprises of the lead characters of the Scooby-Doo franchise based on the classic Hanna-Barbera animated television show. While the earliest cartoons did not carry too many hints as to romance or sexual tension between the characters, since they were aimed at children, the live-action film explicitly set Fred and Daphne up as a couple. They made a nice couple, Fred and Daphne. Even Shaggy found a love interest, and it was not Scooby-Doo. While Velma was shunted off to the side. Velma was just like, you know, the girl with not sunglasses, but big glasses. She had a seeing problem, and she was like not attractive, so she kind of like never hooked up. Velma's lack of a romantic partner now makes sense if she was intended to be a gay character before the studio got cold feet. Well, how would you assume that, right? In the past, James Gunn had explained the long battle that was fought to make the script for Scooby-Doo into something more family-friendly. Because really, the franchise is an animated franchise, right? You know, it's a cartoon series. And it has a whole history as a cartoon series. It has merchandise as a cartoon series. The public is going to the movie expecting like, all right, well, it's a family-friendly, you know, animated. It's a live action, but it could have easily been an animated movie. So let's see what James Gunn says here. Quote, the movie was originally meant to be PG-13 and was cut down to PG after like 3 parents were outraged at a test screening in Sacramento, California. The studio decided to go a more family-friendly route. Language and jokes and sexual situations were removed, including a kiss between Daphne and Velma. Well, that would have probably been giving something away. Cleavage was CGI'd over. All right, so they covered up chests with CGI. But thankfully, the farting remained. Thank God, right? I thought at the time the rating change was a mistake. I felt like a lot of the teens came out for the first film and didn't get what they wanted and didn't come back for the sequel. But today, I don't know. So many young kids love those movies, which is pretty cool. So in case, it says, in case fans think Gunn is trying to pull a J.K. Rowling in retroactively announcing a character is gay, as happened with Alba's Dumbledore, there's an interview that Scooby-Doo lead Sarah Michelle Gellar gave back in 2002 that mentioned a kiss between her and Velma, which was cut from the movie. All right. But just because the characters kiss doesn't make them gay either. They can kiss if they want to. It wasn't just like for fun. Initially, in the soul-swapping scene, Velma and Daphne couldn't seem to get their souls back together in the woods, and so the way they found was to kiss, and the souls went back at the proper alignment. All right. So expect the campaign to start up soon, demanding that the Gunn cut of Scooby-Doo, featuring a fully out and proud Velma Dinkley, presumably fighting with Fred for Daphne's affections. Yeah, why not? That would be great. And here's his original tweet. Viewfinder Film Club said to James Gunn, "Please make our live-action lesbian Velma dreams come true." That is a bizarre dream to have. I mean, come on. Dream for world peace. Dream for whatever you want to dream, I guess. James Gunn here responded that, he tried. In 2001, Velma was explicitly gay in his initial script. The studio kept watering it down until it was just ambiguous, and then it got completely cut out of the final version. All right, that explains it. But the thing that I don't fully understand, and maybe it's just me, but I look at stuff like this and I'm like, well, you hire the screenwriter to come in. So continuity doesn't begin. You know, the whole existence of the material doesn't begin because you hire a writer to write a screenplay adaptation of something with a long history, right? So Scooby-Doo was created in 1969 by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears for their Hanna-Barbera production company. And, they created these characters. So, yeah, they were a children's cartoon. They weren't designed to deal with mature and sexual issues. They did make a couple out of some of the teenagers, out of Daphne and Fred. She's Daphne, that's Fred. But, the issues weren't even being dealt with. So there may be a character who could be gay or not be gay. Maybe Shaggy likes, men and women. Good for Shaggy if that's what he wants. But it's not necessarily going to make it into the movie if it's not relevant. It's not always relevant to a story to understand a character's sexuality, or if the character is having different thoughts or confusion about their sexuality. That would be the whole story, especially if it hadn't been revealed before in continuity. It would be like, can you have a gay Spider-Man? Yeah, you can have a gay Spider-Man. That's no problem. But you can't just say, oh yeah, by the way, Spider-Man's gay. Now let's go fight the Vulture. It's like, it changes tremendous amounts of existing continuity when the project was created and has had tremendous numbers of stories done and exposed to your audience that understand the characters to be established a certain way. So if you're going to change them, you can change them. But that big change that the audience wasn't aware of, explicitly, completely black and white aware of, then that big change becomes the story. And then you have to focus the story on that. And if that's the story that the writer wants to tell and that the studio or the publisher wants to tell, it's completely fine. But you can't just mix up all the sorts of backgrounds of the characters and expect that to not become the story. Because there is something that existed, like Little Miss Muffet sat in a tuffet eating her curds away. Along came a spider, sat down beside her, etc., 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 ran away. Something changed. Something happened from the status quo. That becomes the story. That's my storytelling lecture. And if you want to see some great stories, check out College of the Dead Graduation Day, collegeofthedead.com. Definitely sign up so you can be there at the launch for the Mermaids comic book that's coming soon. Full color, 48 pages. Really, really proud of this. Really, really well thought out, well done book. And I will see, you let me know in the comments, by the way. Of course, subscribe, please. Click the bell for notifications. Helps very much. like the video, and put in the comments below if you agree with me that, like, look, if it's not the story, then why are you going to introduce big changes to characters? It just becomes confusing when you're trying to follow what's going on with the story and you make those big changes. I'll see you again soon with another video, and if I don't see you, I will miss you.